For my 30-day project, I chose to read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. I'm not usually a very avid book reader, but I really did enjoy reading this book. The tone that the author used was very well directed towards teens, and he used illustrations, he made funny jokes within the book, but it was just a really entertaining book for me to read. As of right now, I do have a lot of bad habits that I would like to change, so my goal for this is to ditch those bad habits and to create new ones that will hopefully last my whole life. The first 3 chapters are the first 3 habits, and those are called Private Victory. Okay, so it's currently 6:25. I am about to finish getting ready for school. I have to leave in like 10 minutes, but right now I'm going to do some positive affirmations to myself so that I can feel confident for the rest of the day. So, I am strong, I am loved, I am worthy of love, I am going to do really well on this math test that I have today. I am going to succeed in everything that I do today. I have work, so I'm going to have a stress-free work shift today. I am going to go to Westmec and have fun at Westmec, and I am going to be strong throughout the day. I'm going to carry my strength with me throughout the day. And yeah. In this book, at the end of each chapter, the author does baby steps. In chapter 1, page 45, baby step 1 is keep promises to yourself. This baby step reflects this week because I made a promise to myself to get these things done. Okay, so now I'm eating at Flower Child, and one of my goals was to replace my meals with healthy meals, like 1 meal a day. So I'm eating chicken, gluten-free mac and cheese, and then this like sesame noodles. So yeah. Right now I am studying for my state boards for Westmec, and I am doing my flashcards and I'm writing down all my flashcards. The state boards are April 30th, and one of my goals was to make sure that I study a lot for them. Okay, I'm on the elliptical right now. I just started. One of my goals this week was to do the elliptical 2 times a week for 30 minutes each. So yeah, I just started in. Wish me luck. For day 5, I studied for about 2 hours for my state boards test. This was a very good study session because I learned a lot about diseases and disorders, and I feel very confident going into state boards. On chapter 1, page 8, it talks about what habits are, and habits are basically things that we do repeatedly most of the time. We're hardly aware that we're even doing them. They're on autopilot. Some habits are good, like exercising regularly or planning ahead. Some habits are bad, like thinking negatively about yourself or biting your nails. And some don't really matter, like taking showers before bed instead of in the morning, or putting hot sauce on every meal. Things like that, depending on what they are, our habits will either make us or break us. In chapter 4, page 44, it talks about paradigms and principles. I really enjoyed this chapter because I learned a lot about those 2 things. A paradigm is basically another word for perception. It's your point of view, your frame or reference, or your belief. And principles are things in your life like your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your parents or your school, your work or your sports or your hobbies.
Sometimes our paradigms are way off the mark. As a result, they create limitations. For instance, we may be convinced that we don't have what it takes to get into college, or we're too dumb to pass a test in school. Being principle-centered is the real thing. For example, honesty is a principle. Service is a principle. Love is a principle. Hard work is a principle. They're not hard to identify. Just as a compass always points to true north, your heart will recognize true principles. On Chapter 4, page 66, it talks about having a can-do attitude, and the 4 key points of that are self-awareness, conscious imagination, and willpower. Self-awareness means that I can stand apart for myself. Conscious means I can listen to my inner voice. Imagination is I can envision the possibilities of willpower is having the power to choose and the power to get things done. On page 94 of Chapter 5, it talks about going for the goal. There are 5 keys for keeping your goal. Number 1, count the cost. Number 2, write it out. Number 3, just do it. Number 4, momentous movements. And number 5, rope up.
Will you be going to school in the summer out here?
We end the school May 22nd.
Oh, okay. So
In Chapter 6 on page 113, it talks about planning. The recommendation is plan weekly. Step 1, identify your big rocks. Step 2, block out time for your big rocks. And step 3, schedule everything. In Chapter 7 on page 144, part of the baby steps is doing small acts of kindness. And for this, I chose to go and volunteer at my junior high, mentoring the 7th and 8th grade cheerleaders on what it takes to become a high school cheerleader on a varsity team.
Okay, so I'm doing something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm finally making sourdough bread with my mom. So here's the mess that we made, and then here's the Dutch oven that we put it in, and then this was the bread. It was really, really good. Finally made it. So excited. So right now I'm at work. This is me at work. Here's my computer and everything. And then right now I'm gonna go clean a bed. So I do work at a tanning salon, and now that school is almost out, I applied for a job here, and they hired me like the next day. So I've been working here for a little bit. And yeah, it's a really fun job. I love it. I'm so glad that I got hired because it's like the funnest job in the world.
In Chapter 7 on page 206, it talks about sharpening the saw. The saw is a metaphor for yourself. There are 4 key points to sharpening yourself, and that is the body, brain, heart, and soul. The body is the physical dimension. The brain is the mental dimension. The heart is the emotional one, and the soul is a spiritual one. So when you talk about the body, it's exercise, eating, eating healthy, sleeping well. The brain is educating yourself, writing, learning new skills, reading. The heart is building relationships and learning to love yourself. I chose the brain for my job because I wanted to learn new skills and be more responsible.
Okay, so this is the end of the 30-day project. This is going to be like my reflection video. I really feel that this book did so much for me, and this project in general was one of the best projects that I've ever done because it really helped me see all of my unhealthy, bad, horrible habits that I was just used to doing just because they felt natural to me and I wasn't stepping out of my comfort zone and thinking about others or being responsible enough. I think that this project really helped with my responsibility, especially like at work when I have to clean the beds, when I have to sweep, when I have to mop. This also really showed me when I was working out, mainly, what my body was capable of and how much I could push myself to work out harder and for longer, for a better, like, for more speed, like the increase in, what's it called? The increase in, I don't know what it's called, but on the cardio machine, I think that there was some things that were in the book that I really did want to apply because I felt that they were very important, but I didn't get the chance to because this wasn't a longer project. I think that if this was a longer project, I'd be able to I'd be able to put more things that were in the book and apply it to my life because there were so many things like working together with people, listening to people sincerely, there were a lot more, but like think of a win-win attitude, not like a win-lose attitude, but there were so many things that I could have applied from the book that I didn't, just because the project was only 30 days, but I still learned so much in those 30 days. I learned that I don't eat super healthy. I learned that I have a lot of bad eating habits in my everyday life, and that I'm so glad that I got to change those habits because now I am eating a lot better even after the 30 days was over. That video cut me off, but I'll just clip these two together. But that I basically said everything that I needed to be said in that first video. But I just think that this project was very helpful for my everyday life, and I'm so glad that I did it. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.